Hey good people, and welcome back to the channel. In a few moments, you'll be getting my review on episode 11 of Ready to Love Miami. And over the course of this video, I'll be sharing my episode breakdown, followed by my thoughts on the couples for the episode, and I'll cap things off with an overall rating. So without any further delay, let's jump right in. Episode 11 kicks off with Nephew Tommy meeting with the remaining 5 women and letting them know that they have the power to eliminate. Nephew Tommy then tasks the ladies with introducing their connections with their parents. Now I'll get into each individual meeting for the episode a little later, but after the women introduce the men to their parents, Nephew Tommy then meets up with the women to talk about their connections. And during this ladies' lounge, Charisse questions whether she sees a future with Samson. It was interesting to see how the women started to pile up on Samson, knowing that they're likely doing this so that they can keep their connections on the show. But instead of a standard elimination, Nephew Tommy gives the power to eliminate to Charisse. So Charisse meets with Samson. She tells Samson the things that the women said about him and how she believes them. Samson then hits Charisse with that good old Uno reverse card and tells her all the things that the men have said about her. This is a very satisfying scene to watch because I don't know how Charisse was able to make it as long as she did. But Charisse ultimately eliminates Samson, which in fact seals her fate on the show as well. So let's talk about the connections for the episode. In the first scene, we see Mike coming to meet Brandy's parents, and he comes bearing gifts for everybody. The parents inquire with Mike regarding what he likes about Brandy, and they ask him how he plans to cope with Brandy's job as a flight attendant. All in all, Mike seems to be charming the hell out of the parents, and I think the parents thoroughly enjoy Mike's sense of humor. When Mike leaves the meeting, the father mentioned that he wondered if Mike was just saying all the right things in front of them, which I think is a fair feeling to have when you barely know somebody. We then get Kadian and Swayze. Swayze comes to meet Kadian's godmother at a restaurant. The godmother seems down to earth and very direct when talking to Swayze. Swayze has no issues giving his background information to the godmother, and at some point during their meeting, Kadian and Swayze decide that it's a good idea to tell the godmother about their issues. But when Swayze leaves, the godmother shares that she likes Swayze. Later on in the episode, Swayze and Kadian go out to eat, and this scene is probably one of the longest scenes that explores Kadian and Swayze's connection. But to tell you the truth, they talk about a bunch of nothing related to how they feel about each other. Kadian at one point asks questions like, "Do you think you can handle me?" And I gotta ask, why should a man have to handle a woman's attitude and behavior? In my opinion, a woman should try to be a man's piece, or she should try to act however she wants and enjoy being alone. Next up, we see Randall meeting Jay's mother and sister. And a Randall thought that I had was that Jay and her sister may have the same makeup artist. But right off the bat, Jay's mother and sister question Randall about his connections, as well as the issues that he had with Jay at the resort. Now Randall did the best that he could while under stress, but the mother wasn't finished yet. She whips out a note card with questions that Jay's father wanted to ask him, and this friendly meetup quickly turns into an interrogation session. I admire Randall for asking Jay's mother some tough questions about Jay, but when Randall leaves, the mother shares that she likes Randall, but she's still got an eye on him. We then see Charisse bringing her father to meet Samson. The father and Samson seemingly have a nice conversation, and the father is getting good vibes from Samson. But Charisse interrupts the conversation and causes some unnecessary drama. When Samson leaves, the father shares that he sees a lot of himself in Samson, but he still has good vibes for him. Next, we have Mike meeting Kayla's parents, and the parents, well, mainly Kayla's father, has some rapid-fire questions for Mike, but Mike handles all the questions with ease, and the way he handles himself makes the parents feel more comfortable as well. Mike is very personable. He's saying all the right things, and he's making the father laugh. But when Mike leaves, the father shares that he likes Mike's confidence, but he doesn't like how Mike doesn't know what he was looking for with Kayla. And finally, we have Randall meeting Kayla's parents. One of the main differences with this meeting versus Mike's meeting was that the vibe for this meeting was very flat. Kayla's parents were like detectives on the first 48, and they were making Randall sweat like a pastor at a strip club. And the moment Randall showed some weakness, the father went in for the proverbial kill. When Randall left, the father shared that Randall lacks confidence, but he admired that Randall knew what he wanted from Kayla. Now overall, on a scale of 1 to 10, I will give this episode a 4. The scenes where the men were meeting with the parents looked to be okay, but I feel that the majority of the episode was a waste of time. It was clear from several episodes ago that Samson wasn't really feeling Charisse like he was feeling Shakira, but he likely saw something that could potentially lead to a relationship with Charisse, while Charisse wanted a full-on relationship with all the bells and whistles with Samson. But this marks the end of my review. If you have any questions or comments about the episode or my review, feel free to leave them below in the comment section, and I'll be sure to reply to everybody. Until next time, stay tuned and stay safe. Peace.